A woman, a mother, and a personality who finally lightened her heart after 2 years of silence. And believe me, what she said was not just for one person, but a message for all those who think that a woman's silence is her weakness. Melody said, "I kept quiet for 2 years, but you guys mistake silence for weakness." And today, she's naive, not slowly, but confidently. Yesterday, Melody went live and answered one thing at a time. She said she's speaking softly to those on the internet who have a hard time understanding, because it's no longer just about Martell or Arionne. Now it has become about honor, truth, and children's future. Melody put it bluntly, "If you guys hadn't made that drama outside the courtroom, I'd still be quiet today. But when you crossed the line, I too decided to speak up openly, tell the truth." Melody said that she hadn't been talking to Martell or Arionne for the past 2 years. Rather, he did not even mention their names. But when both of them repeatedly spoke against her on social media, spread lies, and also targeted her mother and children, she started saying enough. She said, "I have been patient for 2 years. But now if you think that I will remain silent forever, you are mistaken." That's what Melody said after the video of Martell and Arionne outside the courtroom went viral, where Martell's language, his mannerisms, and his insults were exposed for all to see. Melody said, "Now I will answer you in your own words, because the truth can be hidden, not erased." And friends, here begins the war, not just social media, but a war of honor, truth, and self-righteousness. Melody said that in the last 2 years, she hasn't done any live, hasn't posted. She hasn't even responded to their insults. But when it came to the honor of her children and the sanctity of the mother, she said, "Now I will answer you one word at a time." He said plainly, "I have never harmed you, but your hatred has blinded you. Your hatred has become greater than the love of your children. I am not going to save you now." Melody then shows the text messages in which Martell himself wrote, "I apologize for that punch." Yes, guys, the very punch he was denying, Melody delivered with proof. Now the question is not what happened. The question is, what is going to happen next? All this made one thing clear. Melody is not just an ex-wife, but an example for women who stand up for their dignity. The ones who are patient, but then they also speak. And when they speak, the world listens. Melody said, "I gave you a chance time and time again. Saved you, held your honor. But you made a mockery of that honor. Now there will be no friendship, no connection, no veil." A storm arose with his words. Team Melody was buzzing everywhere on social media. People started saying that now the game has changed. Now the days of truth are back. In her own way, Melody reminded the world that no matter how silent a woman is, when she decides to speak the truth, no one can stop her voice. As social media buzzed after Melody's live, Martell's silence shocked everyone. The person who was always the first to react now seemed lost. Some said he was thoughtful, some said she was disturbed. But the truth was that he was surprised because he hadn't expected Melody to speak like this. So fearlessly, with such evidence. This time it was not about any rumor or gossip. It was then that the truth teller herself came forward. The scenes outside the court as if were fresh in everyone's mind. He remembered the day when Martell, with a fake smile on his face, told everyone that he was fighting for the children. But in reality, his eyes were filled with stubbornness, anger, and fear of defeat. Arionne stood by her side as if not in support but on a front against Melody. Those who saw this scene said that this is not just a court, it is a battle of ego. Melody also mentioned in her live that the scenes outside the court were not just for one day. She said many times those people used to look at me and make fun of me. I kept quiet because I knew that if I said something, the same things would be used against me. But now I will not stay silent. Now everything will come out no matter how much it hurt someone. She added that Martell always played her role to cover up her mistakes. When you don't have any arguments, you talk about the role of women. But remember, by pointing fingers at a woman's honor, you hide your weakness, not show your strength. This sentence fell into the hearts of the listeners. Every word felt like an injury. Friends, at that moment, dozens of clips went viral on social media. People started making videos, reels, and comments in support of Melody. Some say it's Melody's era, the time when she's turning her silent pain into speech. And some said there was no way left for Martell. But the story did not end here. Melody said that people around Martell know about his lies but are silent. "When the truth comes out, none of you will stand by it," he sneered. This sentence echoed like a warning. After that, he also spoke in signs about Arionne. He said some people think that they will find happiness by breaking someone else's house. But remember, there is no peace in a house built on tears. After hearing this sentence, there was a storm in the comments section of Live. People started bashing Arionne. Some wrote karma is back. Some said Melody finally free. And it was true. Because now Melody felt free, the burden she'd been holding in her heart for years was now coming out in words. Melody said, "I tried everything I could to save that relationship. I sacrificed my family, my children, even myself. But when someone has no respect, silence becomes a crime." She said this so gently that the listeners also became silent for a moment. She said that when Martell had a relationship with another woman, she didn't make the decision right away. "I thought maybe it's a temporary weakness. Maybe it will change." But when infidelity becomes a habit, love starts to feel like a weakness. Melody's eyes clearly reflected that pain. But this time she wasn't weak, she was strong, confident. Meanwhile, she said Martell also lied in court to cover up his wrongdoings. He said, "You said I keep children away from you, but don't you remember how many times I gave you a chance? I called you, explained, but you remained a slave to your ego every time." Melody also said that the hardest moment for her was when her children witnessed their father's actions. The greatest pain for a mother is for her children to learn the truth about the person they consider a hero. "And when that day came, I braced myself because I had to teach my daughters that you should never sell yourself, even if you have to lose everything." These words spread like wildfire. Thousands of women started sharing their stories on social media. Everyone was saying that Melody spoke their hearts out. "This is not just Melody's story, it's all of us," someone wrote. Finally, Melody ended her live with one sentence. "I don't want to embarrass you. I'm just showing the truth." And this truth had now become a storm that was shaking the foundations of not only Martell's life, but his character. As the sun rose the day after Melody's live, social media went into a new storm again. This time, Arionne stepped into the fray. She uploaded a video titled "My Side of the Story." But as soon as people saw the video, they all realized that this is not a story, but another attempt to prove themselves oppressed. Arionne said in the video that people are only listening to Melody, while the truth is something else. She said, "I didn't come to break anyone's house, I just fell in love." But to the audience, the excuse seemed outdated, because they all knew that this love was not with an ordinary man, but with a married man, a father of 4 children. And when love breaks boundaries, it leaves only pain. Melody did not immediately respond to the video. She remained silent, but his followers took the field. People flocked to Arionne. Someone wrote, "You ran after fame, not love." And someone said, "Your coming into Melody's life is a lesson that when trust is broken, everything falls apart." Meanwhile, a post by Martell also appeared. "I am only going through all this for my children," he said. But in his words, there was less truth, more pretense. Because if he was really doing something for his children, he would never have done this social media drama against their mother. Melody's followers caught on immediately. "Martell, your children are ashamed of your behavior, not you," one user wrote. Melody, on the other hand, was preparing for her next live. This time his manner was calmer, more confident, and more controlled than before. When she came online, she said softly, "I know you guys want me to respond to Arionne, but I won't stoop to the level where I make a spectacle of my pain." This sentence fell like lightning. She had a smile on her face, but a look in her eyes. She said Arionne is speaking because she has nothing left. I am speaking because I have the truth. This difference is like a line drawn, and that line stood between truth and lies. Melody said she doesn't hate a woman, but she definitely hates the act that broke her home. I would never want any woman to go through what I did. After hearing this, many women wrote in the comments, "Melody, you are the voice of all of us. You didn't give up, you found yourself." And it was true, because a woman who picks herself up from a broken relationship can change the world. Melody also opened up about her children for the first time in this live. She said, "My children saw everything, heard everything. But I taught them that we are not recognized by the behavior of others, but by our character." She added, "I told my daughters to never think of yourself as weak, because if I can be strong, so can you." These words weren't just a mother's, they were the words of a warrior woman, not broken, but carved. There was a strange light in Melody's eyes at that moment, as if a wound had become light. She also said something about Martell that touched everyone's heart. He said, "Sometimes the greatest punishment is not that you take revenge on someone, but that you are happy, because your happiness becomes a punishment for their conscience." And hearing this phrase, the entire live chat bar was filled with, Melody said she tried her best to keep her children out of the media, but Martell repeatedly used them for publicity. A father who wants to portray himself as a victim by exposing his children to the media is actually harming their childhood. Hearing this, many parents also supported him. "You opened my eyes today," one mom wrote in the comments. As time went by, Melody's followers began to grow. People began to understand his words not only as a drama, but as a lesson. Every video, every post of his was now becoming an inspiration. Arionne's video was now behind, and Martell's words were beginning to lose their meaning. The world was now talking about only one thing: Melody's truth. At the end of the live, Melody said something that summed up her entire journey. "I forgave myself because I know now that my story is not over. It's just a new beginning," she said. Hearing this sentence, a sigh came out of every woman's heart. But that sigh was not of weakness, it was of strength. And at that moment, a new hashtag started trending on social media: Melody Rising. It was not just a word, but a feeling that a woman can rise even when she falls, and when she rises, the world is watching. It hadn't even been a day since Melody's live that the panic on Martell's face was clear. The people around him, his team, and even his supporters on social media were now split in two. Some were saying that Martell should remain silent, while others were urging him to reveal his truth. But the truth was that now he had nothing left to say. Everything Melody said was accompanied by evidence, so she had to weigh every word before reacting. At the same time, the media also took this issue into their hands. Big bloggers, talk shows, and reaction channels started making videos on the issue. The theme was the same everywhere. Is the Martell era over? Some channels released old clips showing Martell's selfishness and lies. "When a man doesn't respect his woman, he loses his own respect," said a host on a show. This sentence went viral. On the other hand, Arionne broke the silence. She uploaded another video, but this time the style was a bit different. There were tears in her eyes. Her voice was broken. "I'm tired. I just wanted to be happy. But people are making me a villain," she said. People softened for a few moments, but then the comments started. One user wrote, "You are reaping what you sowed." And another said, "Melody never badmouthed you, but you destroyed your own identity." Melody didn't respond directly this time. She just posted a simple quote: "You don't have to speak every time to keep yourself clean. Time speaks for itself." That one sentence was enough. And that sentence became the most shared post of the entire week. Martell, on the other hand, said in an interview that he still respects Melody, but wants to tell his version of the story. He claimed that the media was only showing one-sided stories. But during the interview, Martell's face changed color when the anchor showed him the message in which he mentioned punch. He immediately said it was just a joke, nothing really happened. But the audience knew that he was lying. Melody's fans clipped and uploaded every moment of the interview on social media. One user wrote, "When the lie weakens, the eyes begin to tell the truth." And rightly so, as the panic in Martell's eyes was visible to all. Melody opened the second chapter of her story that same day. A new life, but this time quieter, more powerful. She said, "I don't want revenge from anyone. I just want people to know that when you are with the truth, you don't have to fear anyone." She said that she made everything in her life by herself, her house, her career, her name. "Those who think that I am known by their name, forget it. I have made my own name and no one can take it away." Melody's words were not just words, they were a message. Every woman who has ever been cheated on has courage. One commenter wrote, "Melody, you're not just fighting your own battle, you're representing us too." And it was true. His voice was no longer just a story, but a movement. Things were getting more and more difficult for Martell. He uploaded a video on social media in which he appeared with his children. "I just want to see my kids happy," he said. But people immediately pointed out that the video appeared to be a damage control effort. One user wrote, "Remember the children now. Where were they when their mother was being blamed?" Arionne also did not miss the opportunity. "People think I'm weak, but I'm only human," she wrote on her Instagram story. And with it, he put a picture in which she was standing in front of the mirror looking at the tears in her eyes. A few sympathized, but the majority said it's all a game for the social media cameras. Melody made a quiet post that evening, writing just 2 words, "Peace wins." And those 2 words summed up the entire story. She did not answer to anyone, did not accuse anyone. She simply left a strong message that silence is also a strength in the journey of truth. Sources close to Martell, on the other hand, told the media that he is now considering legal action as his reputation has been affected by Melody's comments. But no one took it seriously on social media. Rather, one user humorously wrote, "You destroyed your reputation, now blame it on someone else." Days passed, but the story did not end. Melody channeled her energy in a positive direction. She announced the launch of her new business, Rise Renew by Martell Holt'S. It was not just a brand, but a sign of its renaissance. People started saying that this is the same woman who is building a new world by rising from the ruins of defeat. Now the situation had changed. Martell's words were less trusted and Melody's words more trusted. And it was at that moment that Arionne took a new step. Surprising announcement that shocked everyone. "I'm going to break my silence and I'm going to reveal everything that happened," she said. This announcement was like the beginning of a new war. But now the people were ready because this time they knew that truth was not just in words, but in action. If you like this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you'll be the first to see the next part. Write in the comments, do you think the next step should be Arionne or Melody? Your opinion is very important to us because this story is not just theirs, but every woman's who stands up for the truth.